What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's DIY Lifestyle. So we are getting back at it with some cars right now while we're in the winter time, and winter has finally come to North Carolina. It's like 40 degrees out here. It was down in the 20s a couple nights ago, so winter has finally came almost at the end of January, but that's just how it goes around here. So today I'm going to be working on a car that my dad actually just went and bought. So it was a buddy that he knew from work. The guy was in it, it got rear-ended, and it shoved him into the car in front of him and totaled the car. He bought it back from the insurance company, didn't want to fix it, and now sold it to my dad. So we are going to tear this thing apart and see if we can't fix it and flip it, make a little money off of it. So the car that we've got today is this gorgeous 2008 Mustang GT, and it is the California Special model. It's also a convertible, so some people love it, some people don't, but this thing is super clean, and I'm gonna walk you around, show you what the damage is, show you what we're gonna have to fix. Then I'm gonna pull it into the garage and start tearing this thing apart and see if we can't get everything off of it today. That way I can get all the parts ordered, and then next time I will be putting everything back together so we can get this thing sold. So here's the car, and you can see right here where it got shoved up into the car in front of it. It definitely got the bumper pretty good. It did crack the upper grille. The lower grille is completely gone. I guess it probably got busted and knocked out. So you can see the hood right here has a bend in it, and we do have another hood that we can put on it, so we'll get all that fixed. But walking around the car, there is absolutely no damage anywhere else on the car. It is a gorgeous car. It's in great shape. The only thing really that happened to it was all that cosmetic stuff where it got hit. So right here on the back, you can see where it got scuffed up. So this was the initial hit. It did crack the bumper there. It's definitely all scarred up just where it got shoved up. Luckily it's not dented, so there might be a way to patch that, sand it down completely smooth and repaint it. But once I get it apart, I'll look farther into that. I'm gonna pop the hood here and show you the damage to the radiator support. All right, so now looking up in here, you can see exactly where the car took the hit. So it got hit right here and shoved that whole support back. And you can see when you look up at it right here, this is actually supposed to be more flat across the front of the car. And you can see how it makes a nice little S curve there as it comes back to this side. So right here, coming from this bolt out, seems to look pretty straight, and right here looks like a crumple zone. And you can tell right here where the support is, it bent right on the edge of that weld. So that whole radiator support is definitely gonna have to be replaced. If it wasn't bent like so many different places and also creased and pushed back where the horn and that headlight is, I probably would have tried to straighten it out. But being that I'm gonna have to wiggle with that, mess with the hood latch, try to pull all that stuff out, it's just gonna be easier to take everything off of the car, unbolt that support, and replace it. So that right there is pretty much an overview of the vehicle. That's all the stuff that we're gonna have to get. My dad said the radiator does have a little pinhole in the top of it, so I'm hoping taking everything apart, we can get away with just some cosmetic stuff and a radiator and get this thing back on the road. So I'm gonna get it cranked up, get it pulled in the garage where it's a little bit warmer, and we'll start tearing this thing apart. All right, so we got this bad boy in the garage. Now the first thing that I'm gonna start working on is getting this front bumper off, then getting the grill out, getting the headlights off, basically just tearing the whole front end of the car off. And then I can get in there and see exactly what I have to do in order to get that front radiator support off. From what I can tell, it looks like it's just bolted on. I think there's bolts right here at the front of the fenders. And I'm sure there's stuff down on the bottom of the frame somewhere that's got it bolted on as well. But as long as I can get all of this stuff off the front, get that radiator support out, make sure the AC condenser isn't busted as well, which I don't think it is, but I'll have to get it apart just to look at it, and get the radiator pulled out. Basically just get everything off the front of the car. Then I can start ordering parts, and then I'll start putting it back together. so I think the verdict right now is I'm going to go ahead and order this radiator support, go ahead and get that in. That way I know which spot welds I have to drill out. Basically at this point, all I've done is taken the whole front bumper off, got rid of the headlights. I've taken every bolt I could find out of the front of this header panel, all the wire looms and the hood latch. I've pulled all of that stuff out. So hopefully there's nothing else connected to that header panel. And again, I don't know exactly how far back I need to go right here on the fender. I removed one bolt, but then it's kind of multi-layered right there with the fender, the inner fender, the outer fender, and the header panel. So for me, I don't want to accidentally go drilling spot welds that don't need drilled. So I'm going to go ahead and order the new one. That way I can look at it, see exactly where the holes are and exactly where it connects. Because the same way down there on the bottom of the frame, it's kind of the same way. I don't know exactly which spot welds to drill and how far down it actually goes. But as of right now, I would say the first day is definitely a success. I've got everything pulled off that I wanted to. If the header panel was bolted in, I definitely would have already had it apart even farther and got the radiator out. But I'm going to go ahead and order those parts. The next time you see me, we'll be swapping out this header panel, swapping out the radiator, and making sure there's no other damage underneath basically this piece right here that you can see that's bent. So that's probably going to be it for this segment, depending on how long the video is. That's all I've got for today. Thank you guys for watching and checking this video out. Be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of this restoration on this car to see the finished product. So this is definitely going to be an exciting build, and I'm excited to have it on the channel. But with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's DIY Lifestyle. So if you can see behind me, the Mustang is looking a lot different than it was in the very first video. And through this video, you're going to see the tear down and the removal of the upper radiator support. So there's a ton of drilling, getting rid of spot welds, and then chiseling stuff away in order to get that upper radiator support free where you can swap it out. Just like that. I'll put one out here too. Okay. All right, now you gotta lift up and pull out. You'll see it like on that screw. Yeah. I hope the wind's not hurting the video. It is super windy out here today and it is cold. But basically at this point, the only thing that I have left to actually take off of the car is the radiator. So the radiator on this car is leaking, and you can see some of it dripping down right there. It just leaks from the very top of it. I'm assuming whenever it got pushed back, it caught the top of that thing and knocked something loose. But either way, I need to pull that radiator out, get it swapped out, and I'm done with that. And then the last cosmetic thing I've got is really just getting the hood scoop from the old hood put onto the donor hood so we can finish that. So you can see right here, this is the new hood, and this thing has holes everywhere. You would think that hood scoop would either be glued on or just held on by a couple nuts and bolts, but it's not. It's got 4 studs that come through those 4 holes, and then all these other spots are literally just clips. Obviously Ford did not want that hood scoop to come off, even though it is completely not functional. It is only there for looks. They are adamant that that thing does not come off the hood. So I think that's what I'm going to do today, is work on this, because it's so cold out here. I don't really want to mess with the radiator and get them wet. I'm going to wait till it warms up probably next week before I get on that. But today I'm going to tackle this. I'm going to start drilling all these holes, hopefully get that hood scoop swapped out, and I can show you guys what that looks like as well. But so far the teardown of this car is going great, and I hope you guys will enjoy this video as it shows again how to get that radiator support off, get you to that step, and probably get the hood drilled out and get that hood scoop swapped out. And really all these videos, the way I'm separating them up, is just about 10-minute videos. I don't want them to be too long or too short. I want to put as much content in them as I can, but also keep you guys excited about seeing how this car is going to transform.
I got like 3 subscribers that day you posted that. Yeah, let me show you the 169. There was went to 178 now. I think I was at 175 before you posted.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's DIY Lifestyle. So you can see behind me, we have got a lot of the Mustang put back together, but throughout these videos I have not created an intro or an outro for any of the videos because I wasn't exactly sure how long the videos were going to be and what sections of the video you were going to see. So I've kind of just been working and filming everything, putting it all back together. But in this video today, what you are going to see is the replacement of the radiator. So there was actually a lot that went into swapping that radiator out, and the video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be able to do the radiator and putting the header panel back on in one video, but it just worked out that it's going to be better to do the radiator, and then the next video you watch will be just the radiator support when we put it back on. So throughout the course of these videos, you should be able to see the entire teardown, replacement of everything, and fixing of the front end of this Mustang to get it back roadworthy. We are almost complete with it. So if you are following this journey or you're just getting started, definitely hit the subscribe button. And I have a playlist of all the videos of the Mustang. So if you would like to see it from the very beginning, from when it was wrecked all the way to the end, be sure to check out that playlist, and I will put a card at the top of the screen for that so you can get there. But with that, we'll get into swapping out this radiator. Alright, so that is all we have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you learned something. If you've got a radiator swap out, maybe you're upgrading the radiator in your Mustang GT. Now that the radiator is done, the next video is going to be all about the radiator support and seeing how far I can get in that video, but we should be able to show you exactly how to get the radiator support on and possibly the fenders. That's actually what I'm working on today, and getting the front end back together. So again, just depending on how long the videos are, we'll decide what exactly you see in each video. But I thank you guys for checking out the channel and watching all the videos. Be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you like what you're seeing and you want to see a lot more do-it-yourself projects. But with that, I will see you guys in the next video. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's DIY Lifestyle. So today what you are going to see is the completion of the Mustang. It has definitely been a long time coming, but I'm super excited to get this video out for you guys so that you will be able to see exactly how we got that radiator support put back on the Mustang, got the fenders bolted back on, got the body work done, and overall just got the car back in running order and almost the way that it came from the factory. But you can see right here, the one thing I had trouble with when getting the new one on was you can see at the very bottom right, which is the closest side to us, right here where I'm hitting the hammer, that mount is actually bent back a little bit, and that is what took the brunt of the force whenever that thing was in the wreck. But you can see right here, it did slide right in, and we got it lined up good enough that we can weld around it and hold the support in. So I'm not worried about it being perfectly straight because I know it's not going anywhere. The other thing that I wanted to talk about right quick, when you're looking at this part right here, if you have a car that you are working on, one thing you need to remember is to make sure you measure from one bolt hole on the fender all the way to the hole on the radiator support. So one thing I didn't even think about before we got putting this thing together was the fact that the fender actually bolts onto the body support right above the wheel well, and then also down onto the radiator support. So that last screw that actually holds the very front of the fender on, I wasn't able to get it threaded in because I misaligned it about half a bolt width apart. So it's not enough that it's really going to make a difference. The hood still shuts fine, the lights still line up good, the grill cover and everything lined up perfectly. But that is one thing, if you are doing this yourself, just be aware of where exactly everything bolts on, and if you're going to have to measure something out. Because if I was to do this again, I would have got out a tape measure, measured the distance in the holes in the fender itself, and then as I was putting the radiator support back on, we would have been able to hold it in that exact place and then put the self-tapping screws through to hold it before it got welded. So one thing you won't see in this video is my dad did actually take the car and weld the radiator support back together with the body. So it's not just held on with these self-tapping screws. Everything got welded back. It is all put together so it's like one piece, just like it was from the factory. And that way you're not going to have to worry about anything else coming apart or getting loose or breaking over time. So this car is basically completely put back together. And something like this, if you find a car at an insurance auction or you're thinking about, oh, maybe it might be too much work, you can go back through the playlist and I will put a card at the top. But it will show you step by step basically how to remove the entire front end of this car and fix it up. So I would say if you see something that's got a front bumper that's smashed, I wouldn't run away from it at all because the job wasn't super difficult. As long as the front bumper isn't caved in and that whole front support is not caved in right under my forearms there, you're really not going to have any trouble putting the car together or getting anything straightened out because this radiator support is so soft and it's made to break away that it is not going to affect the actual frame of the car or tweak anything in any way. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and let you guys continue watching the video, but from now on you will see everything getting put back together and then going to the body shop and then the final drive of the car. Right, so we have the fenders on, the headlights in, pretty much the whole front end of the car is back together. So what we are doing now is we are taking this bad boy to the body shop. So the front bumper on that thing was completely cracked in a couple places, and we're going to see if the body shop thinks that they can fix it or if we just need to go ahead and get new bumpers for it. But we believe the back bumper is in good enough shape that they'll be able to patch it up, paint it, and make it look brand new. So that is going to be it for the Mustang until it is complete, hopefully. They might tell us we have to get a new bumper and they might paint it and then I'll throw the bumper on. But as of right now, the Mustang's drivable, it's back together. And as soon as we get it back from the paint shop, I will give an update video, show you guys the finished product, and let you see exactly how the Mustang turned out. All right guys, so we are back and the car has just got back from the paint booth. So it is almost complete. At this point, all I've got to do is go ahead and wire up the headlights, get that grille put back in, and basically just get everything buttoned up. But as far as the cosmetic side of the car, it's completely done. So we took it to a guy. He actually repaired that front bumper, which I was super surprised about. I wasn't expecting him to be able to repair it. And I'll get in here and show you a close-up of what the bumper looks like here in a second. But overall, the car looks amazing. It looks just like it did before it got wrecked, which is obviously what we were going for. And I'm super excited to get this thing completely finished. So with that, I'm gonna get to finishing this thing up. So if we get in here close to the bumper, this is actually right where the crack was. It was split right down the center. I guess they plastic welded it back together and then bondoed it. And then that whole piece, it had two slices in it. I mean, it was completely broke off. So they did an awesome job smoothing that back out. And you can't even tell that bumper was broke. And then the other damaged area was right here on the rear bumper. So if you'll remember, right there was a big old dent where it got smashed. And then on this side, there was a little piece that was actually sticking out a little bit. So as far as what the bumper looks like right now, it looks way better. The only other real issue that I'm having is right here on the hood. I'm assuming with the new hood hinges, they were just a little bit different. So the hood is actually just a little bit lower than the fender right there. So I think what I'm gonna do is just take the two bolts out of the hood and put a couple washers right underneath it just to make that level. And then I can adjust the front of the hood down there again with the little rubber pieces on the radiator support. But other than that, everything is pretty straight and it's definitely ready to get put back together. Alright guys, so that is it with the Mustang. So we finally got it all completely put back together. It is ready to drive and ready to sell. The only thing that we got to do is just stick the Mustang emblem back on the front of the grille. But other than that, the car drives amazing. It doesn't even feel like it's been wrecked. And as you can tell, it doesn't look like it's been wrecked either, which is the absolute best thing we could have hoped for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. It was definitely a long series for me, and it's something that I hope to continue doing in the future. So if you guys like these videos, please be sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, because I really do appreciate it, and all the comments that I get from you guys helping me with the videos, letting me know that the videos helped you. It really means a lot, and and it definitely makes me know that putting these videos out there are completely worth it for you guys. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the videos, and I hope you guys are enjoying all the content that we're putting out on Baker's DIY Lifestyle. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.